Hey there guys, my name's Jacob Jabut, and last year I started my very own business in hopes of one day reaching financial freedom. I have learned a ton since I started, and I wanted to create this channel as a way to share with you guys what I've learned, but also follow me along my journey. On the road to financial freedom. Okay, so today and the next couple days are going to be pretty interesting. Definitely something new for me. I'm actually returning to the same job site where I put in that landscape bed. That same customer now wants a new sidewalk put in. So I'm going to be working with my dad, learning and doing that. First thing we're going to do is tear up the old sidewalk and then put the forms in. And then tomorrow at 2:30, a truck's coming with the concrete to pour that so we can screed it, and my dad's gonna show me how to do all that. So today's really going to be the busy day, tearing out the old sidewalk and hopefully putting the forms in as well. But after calling that concrete place, they can't even have it delivered until 2:30 tomorrow anyways. So if we have to spend time tomorrow putting the forms in, it's really not a big deal at all. But either way, we go down. I gotta get some shovels and a sledgehammer, some different materials, and pretty soon it'll be time to go to work. Just picked up the skid steer, and we're about to go to work tearing up this cement. Alright, so we only got one more piece of concrete to rip up. There's all the concrete there. We'll be getting rid of that. We got a guy coming with a dump truck for that tomorrow. But right now we gotta go get some chains to pull the last piece of concrete away from the house because it's under the lip of the siding. So after that, well, while we're out, we're also gonna get the forms, the 2x4s, and because then it'll just be digging out the pathway and putting the forms in for the sidewalk. Like I said before, 2:30 tomorrow is when we're actually going to be able to pour. So we'll see what else we can do in the meantime. But skid steer made a world of difference. That stuff came out pretty easily, and yeah, pretty excited. real close. We got the boards to put the form in. All the concrete over there. I think we just got a little bit more digging out to do over here. You can see some of the boards we're going to be using for the form. But I just picked up the topsoil, and I think what I'm going to do is just back right in and spread that out. And then we're going to get the forms ready, backfill, load all that up in a dump truck tomorrow. And then at 2:30 tomorrow, pour. And that'll be a wrap. It should be. And probably let the pressure wash the driveway, all the dirt and stuff. But this is coming right along. Okay, so my phone died yesterday, but starting to get the forms in. Some more digging, putting in more topsoil. Guys come with a dump truck today to get rid of that, about 20 minutes. And we're just getting these forms ready. And then hopefully gonna get all the topsoil put in before 2:30 when the concrete will be here. All the forms are in place. The rebar's put in. I backfilled. Topsoil has been put over there. I'll probably put some more. I still have a good amount of topsoil in my truck, so what I'm going to do is probably tomorrow come in and any of these spots in the lawn, I'm going to put some topsoil on and then load up my truck with this. Whatever other crap that I have. See what I can do about fixing this stuff here. Wonder if this skid steer would be... My dad said something about just kind of back dragging this, smushing it down. I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll play around with it, but the only other thing we're waiting on right now is the cement, which it is currently 2:34. It's supposed to be here at 2:30, but who knows? That means they're gonna be here at any second, so. Sidewalk has been poured. We looked in the forecast, it said something about rain, so thankfully we put some plastic over it. Actually, my dad did. yeah, good thing we did. We actually got quite a bit of rain here. Now the only thing left is obviously this has got to dry. We'll probably wait probably till tomorrow to take the forms off. I need to put some more topsoil here. I don't know if I want to do that with the rain there or what. But I know I've definitely got some ruts here to put some topsoil in, so I'm gonna do that. We got some more stuff to get rid of. That over there. All the stuff in the skid steer bucket. So, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and shovel out all the topsoil from my truck, fill in these spots anywhere that needs it, and pick up some of these tools as well. And yeah, looking pretty good other than that. Alrighty, so I'm pretty much done with this job. I spread out all the topsoil in my truck. I just had to do some banking and return the float that we rented. Now I gotta go back and I'm gonna grab my truck because I gotta do the dump run. It's Wednesday. I also gotta pick up some wood that was left over from Aaron Heights, the place where I picked up all the leaves, that nightmare job. Then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna load up some rocks and stuff into the back of my truck. I'm gonna bring the skid steer back where it belongs, and after that, tomorrow we'll just be removing the forms and getting those out of there. Got the truck here, unloaded the topsoil, did the garbage run. Yeah, I got my key. But there's some stuff left in the bucket of the skid steer. There's also a little bit of cement that was left in the chute from the truck that I have to get rid of. So I'm gonna dump that stuff into the back of the truck along with the bucket for the skid steer, drive the skid steer over to the shop, and then I'll have to come back for my truck, blah blah blah. But finishing up here, tomorrow I will be taking off the forms for the cement and picking up the rest of our tools, and we should be good to go. Not bad. Getting the forms out here, and you have to get rid of this concrete, obviously. Fill it in just a little bit. Came out pretty good though. Still, it's wet. It's been raining, but that's all good. Alrighty guys, it is time to break down the numbers on this. As you can tell, I got a little bit of a different background here. I'm not using my green screen this time. I have this whiteboard and I thought it'd be cool to just use this to draw the numbers on. I might go back to the green screen, probably. But yeah, just for this video, I guess I'm going to use the whiteboard here. This is just my goals. I like to write them down in a place that I can see it every day. And this is another goal. I want to buy a Nintendo Switch. Actually, I did buy one, but I want to sell things to make up for the price for it. So I just kind of did. I have $195 out of the $363. So just ignore those two things. But anyways, I made $3,500 from this job. So that was my gross, my gross income. Now this job took me 20 hours. So if you divide, obviously, 3,500 by 20, what you get is I was making $175 per hour gross. Now, I had some expenses. Some of the expenses that I had included a landfill fee, which is about $12. To remove all the old sidewalk, the guy charged us $150. Renting a skid steers anywhere from $200 to $300. As I mentioned in previous videos, my brother-in-law has a skid steer, so he lets me borrow it, and I create advertisements for him for free, and it's kind of a trade-off. I needed rebar. That was, I think it'd be about $75. Again, I actually borrowed this from my brother-in-law. For the actual concrete, it was $386.37. We'll call it $384. Diesel / gas, just fuel, it's about $50, I would say. $100 for topsoil, $75 for the forms. Altogether, I think it's like 1,100, but I also had to buy some boots. I had to buy a placer. So in total, it was about, so gross was 3,500. In total, my expenses were about 1,200. So that puts me at 2,300 in profit. Since this took me 20 hours, divide that by 20, I was making $115 an hour. Now, I was doing this job with my dad, so we ended up splitting the money. So, you know, we're each making over $50 an hour, which is good. So that's about right where I want to be, especially a job that I was, you know, still learning. Now, something that I would have done differently, stacking the concrete from the sidewalk. As I was stacking it, I knew I was stacking it terribly. And as I was stacking it, I was like, man, I should stack this flush, or, you know, even stack it flat and also put something in between each piece of concrete so I can easily scoop it up and put it in the truck. The guy that we had that was removing the concrete was a friend of my dad's, so I would say if he wasn't a friend of my dad's, we probably would have paid more for trucking, because that guy had to wait around for a while. Also, this wasn't a big concrete job, it was just a sidewalk, so me and my dad made out okay actually placing the concrete. But if I was doing anything bigger, or even honestly for future jobs, I realized the actual, you know, pushing and then, you know, screeding and floating the concrete actually takes a good amount of time. So I would say having more people there for when the actual pour goes on, you know, more hands on deck for that is definitely helpful and make it go by faster. The other thing I did learn too was, you know, which I've learned from one of my other previous jobs, is, you know, equipment makes things go by so much faster. I almost didn't use a skid steer. I don't know what I would be thinking if I didn't, because trying to break up all that concrete by hand would have been insanely time consuming and difficult. And even if I wasn't able to borrow my brother-in-law's skid steer, renting one for that $200 or $300 would be way worth it for the amount of time that it would take me to try and break that up. Also, hiring my dad's friend to remove all of the concrete. You know, he had a big tandem load truck. For us, we'd have to break it up into little pieces and unload it by hand in my truck. I just got a dump trailer, so in the future I guess I could use that. But for a job like this one, it's something that weighs a ton, and you can hire somebody that has a big truck. About this job was the finished product of it. Seeing a sidewalk put in was really cool, and I get that rewarding feeling from like putting in a bed, but seeing something there that's so permanent, and knowing that you put it there and seeing it and it looks nice was really cool. And just the fact of learning new things, learning a new skill and how to do concrete was really cool. And I mean, it's probably not a service that I'm really going to advertise too much. This guy is a friend of ours, lives down the street. We'd already done a job for him, asked us if we could do it. It was during the slow season. Why not? It's probably not something, like I said, I'm going to advertise. I already have so many services that I do. But it is something good for me personally to know how to do. Maybe say I buy a property and I have to, you know, put in some concrete, or in the future if I start offering that as a service. Now, for somebody starting out, I feel like I didn't really need this whiteboard. I think I'm going to actually probably go back to using the green screen, because I don't have to take the time to write. I can just put it in. But anyways, we had to buy boots. You know, you're going to need a placer. You're going to need rakes. You're going to need shovels. You need a laser level. We had to rent a skid steer. I mean, you're gonna need a truck, of course. That for now. The boots were pretty cheap. The boots were like $20. We'll say a placer we'll go expensive and say 50. We'll say the rakes are 50. We'll say the shovels are 75. Laser level's like $650. A skid steer to rent, obviously, like I said before, is $200 or $300. I suppose we'll include that because I already included that in my expenses here. So we won't take any more. We won't include the skid steer. A truck, as I've said before, I mean, you could spend anywhere from $5,000 to $100,000 on a truck. A newer one, you're probably gonna buy one for $50,000, $60,000. And I don't know. I never know what to put for a truck, so we'll assume that you already have a truck, I guess. So the total here is $750. You're looking at about $1,000 roughly with the laser level and all of your hand tools. And then say if you have a truck, obviously add that cost in for whatever it is you're looking at. But $1,000 for all the hand tools and a laser level is really not bad. All of your expenses for a job like this, like I said, like you're gonna rent a skid steer. You can even, have somebody, rent or not rent, but pay somebody to truck it out of there. Technically, you really wouldn't even need your own, or at least you wouldn't need a big truck. Most of the stuff, what I'm saying is you can hire it out, so you can include it in the cost. The hand tools you'd want to just buy, those you can even rent too. But if you're going to start a business, I'd say obviously buy it. So even if we go with $1,000 and you're making $2,300, you would pay it off in one job. Now, if you had a truck for say $10,000, it's going to take you roughly five jobs, and so on and so forth. You can plug in your own numbers for however much it is that your truck would cost, or other equipment that you would actually buy and want to pay off, maybe a dump trailer. Oh, one thing to note too is I am not very good with the skid steer, as you probably could tell in the video, so definitely somebody that was more skilled with a skid steer and jobs like this could do this job in a day. And $2,300 in a day is certainly not bad. So yeah, concrete's pretty fun job, pretty cool. I enjoyed it, definitely something different. I don't think I'll be sticking with the whiteboard. I just didn't really. I feel like the glare from the window there, and I don't know, not too good. But anyways, I'll leave it there, guys. This is probably already going to be a decently long video. As always, leave a like, that helps me out. Leave a comment if you have any tips for me. I'm sure anybody that's done concrete saw, some things to improve on for myself, I'm sure. And if you, like this video, anything about it, just leave a comment below. And of course, subscribe. That really, really helps me, and lets me know people are enjoying my videos. But yeah, I'll see you guys next week.